or you can call forth the ancient powers of forward 4.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dama Scaling YouTube channel. I'm your host Eddie Wang, and if you guys are here for at least a week, you know that in the past week we uploaded a video displaying a tech that shows you how to do a tracking Zen 1+2 against people that are trying to sidestep Jin, which some of you understood, but some of you felt like we're kinda behind on the explanation and say the following: man, some people really just check me with down forward 1 whenever I do a forward 4 Zen, so this tech doesn't really help me as much, and we're really truly sorry for that. That's because I cut something on the video that I shouldn't, because I wanted to make it short, and it was to let you aware that you're gonna have to analyze before actually using that tech out there. So this is really not your fault, and I'm not here to bash on anyone. Besides, since we felt that we are a bit ahead on explanation and that some of you were a bit behind, we are going to put everyone that were behind on the same page with us so we can all share the same Jin tech together. And for that, I'm gonna have to go back 4 years now, because Tekken 7 has been out since 2017, and in the next 6 months it's going to make 7 years ever since this game came out. 4 years since the game came out. And for that, I'm gonna to re-explain a tech that we explained on season 1, which is going to be the mix-up game of forward 4 no Zen and forward 4 Zen. And for that, I'm going to need a help of a Jin legend. And if you guys don't know about these guys, that's because you are probably new in this channel. But for those that are here since season 1, probably already figured it out who I'm talking about. And yes, I'm talking about the legend, the guy that started it all, the Tanuki Kid, or as some of you call him, Tano Kid. But to some of us, it will always going to be the forward 4 guy, and that is really not just a random name. That's because that guy has a name that he lives to it, and many people recognize him for that name. And who is forward 4 guy? Well, forward 4 guys is a Jin hero that only uses forward 4 in his game plan. He uses to apply poke, he uses to do pressure, he uses to do combos, he uses to write letters, he uses to play online, to play offline, to do his laundry, to connect his PlayStation. Everything he does is with forward 4, and I'm not exaggerating, because his style of play, of understanding, of taking forward 4 so further along has become a meme back in the days, that even Cherry Berry Mango started using forward 4 to throw people. And even then, after Cherry Berry Mango, there is also Daddy King that also did that and started to throw people with forward 4 on a video that he has on his channel. We already put some part of it in our channel as well.
맞아라! 뽕발! 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 나락! 뽕발! 나락! 뽕발! 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 오케이! 오른발 매니아. 오호! 안 돼.
But if you really want to see in high quality, please check his channel with that video. Are extremely hilarious in the time of the blessed bright leg. But Tanuki Kid was someone that started off this, and while other people do as a way of trolling, that is actually the way he plays Jin, with forward 4 alone. But it's really just not forward 4, he also uses the other right leg moves like down back 4, forward 4, down 4, and down forward 4. So, and electrics is also really good at using electrics, 2-1-4 and the other stuff, but his main tool to do everything is forward 4. And we are going to use the Tanuki Kid's philosophy, to explain how the forward 4 Zen and forward 4 no Zen mix-up works. And for that, this is what I'm going to show you. So some of the subscribers say that whenever they do forward 4 into Zen, after it blocks, people check them with a down forward 1. And I'm going to show you why or how you are going to force people to not check you with down forward 1 every single time you do a forward 4. So this is what we are going to do. We have already a pre-recorded timing of people that checks whenever you do a forward 4 into Zen. So this is what happens, right? And you are forced to guard, because you can't use follow-ups, because any follow-ups that you use against Warang, in this case, that has a good forward 4 into Zen, it will always going to win, and you can't really just interrupt Warang for that, right? Or other character with a similar down forward 1 in this fashion. But here are your options, and this isn't something that I invented. This is something that we actually caught from the only plausible footage of Tanuki Kids that it's around, that was around. It's not even online anymore, and it was deleted on some old channel, and some people even appeared and say that they were Tanuki Kid, but they weren't. The only Tanuki Kid that I know, and I have really not sure if it's actually him, it's Tanuki Kid 35, which is on PlayStation as an ID, and is recognized as a My Gary monster. My Gary is forward 4 as well, and so it is really up there in the ranks as well. So what I'm going to show you is the following. Tanuki Kid does a forward 4 and doesn't do Zen. So if you are trying to check him, then his electric is going to whiff punish your down forward 1, and his double forward 4 are going to start to work this way. So he's going to spam this move in order to force you move around, because whenever Jin spams forward 4, some people like to dash in your face. So electrics are going to beat like people that dash into whatever. And even then, standing 4 will also going to beat these people. 2-1 is going to check people that are trying to approach after they block a forward 4. And whenever Jin spams forward 4, right, you know that this isn't really a tracking move, but you can't sidestep after you block a forward 4. You're gonna have to time your forward 4 in order to avoid the spamming. Because if you don't, then this is what is going to happen. You are going to get hit by forward 4 no matter to what side you sidestep after you block like a forward 4. So don't sidestep after you block a forward 4. Instead, time your forward 4 or your sidestep against a frame trap, like in this case, then it's tameable. But if you block a forward 4, don't sidestep, because then Jin is going to realign and it's just going to forward 4 you, following you up. And that's because it's not that forward 4 has actually tracking, it's just that Tekken alone, whenever you sidestep characters that are not doing anything, they realign on their own. So when they do another move, it's just going to go whenever you were the moment the realign is registered. So this option right here is what going to makes you like move around instead of really just stop there and respect. Because if you just wait out Jin in order to respect, because you are expecting 4-4 into Zen, because you can react to 4-4 into Zen, then you are going to sit there and it's going to push you at the wall with just this move alone, which makes like really good like move. And when they are so eager to sidestep this move after, because they don't want to deal with it, right, and the best option is to sidestep to the right, the side where Jin is weak against, then this is what is going to track against those people that are trying to sidestep the forward 4 into forward 4 into forward 4. And even then, like even if you can really just check Jin, right, let's say you can check Jin with down forward 1 and Jin have to block it to stay safe. He can actually still parry this, and whenever he parries it, he gets 6 frames of advantage, so he can really just parry into forward 4 over and over and over. I'm a bit slower. There he goes. And you whenever you are, you can still step forward 4 obviously, but what you can't really do after Jin parries your forward 4 is to move, because if you move around whenever he parries your down forward 1, in this case this one is -1 and gives him 6 frames of advantage. There are some that are -3 and gives Jin at least 7 frames or 8 frames of advantage, so you can't even sidestep and you can't even press buttons whenever he parries you, because Jin is going to get a different millage of games. For example, he can 2-1 check, so you can't really sidestep, and when he 2-1 checks, guess what happens? Forward 4. So it does the move, right, and he does a forward 4, and if your move is like a something that on parry gives him at least +7, then this is no longer interruptible and he is going to get a counter hit. And if you are trying to sidestep into a move after he does a 4-4 Zen into cancel, then the other 4-4 is going to connect on counter hit. Whenever Jin does like a 4-4 into parry and you do a down forward 1, and if your down forward 1 is -10 on parry, then Jin is going to get a guarantee to 4 against those people. So you're gonna have to be extra careful to whatever you are going to try to put on screen when Jin does a 4-4 into Zen, because he can really just parry you and steal your turn because you are trying to check him, then he parries your check. Now he has 6 frames of advantage, and after at least a 2-1 check or a down forward 1 check or a standing 4, a forward 4, and you can't interrupt these moves because he is going to trade whatever it is that you are going to put on screen after he parries, and is going to win. That is just how it works. So whenever these situations happen and people are so afraid to put their buttons out there, now they are going to try to avoid it because forward 4 alone becomes annoying, and only then when you see those people trying to move around with sidestep after they block a 4-4, then your 4-4 1+2 or 4-4 Zen into 1+2 is what is going to catch those players trying to sidestep or trying to interrupt with a button which is slower. Because if, for example, let's say that you are really getting on their nerves with this, right, and suddenly you do a 4-4 into Zen and they are like, oh shit, he did a 4-4 into Zen, let me just down forward 1. If you are late for 2 frames, Jin is going to launch, so you're gonna have to be on point doing a down forward 1 every single time Jin does a 4-4 into Zen, and I can tell you that is going to be unpredictable as hell, because Jin can really just do this all day and then he decides, nah, I'm going to 4-4 into Zen, and he is going to hit people that are like, oh shoot, I should have down forward 1 here, let me just do it. You are 2 frames late, so GG. Oh, you want to sidestep? Well, GG's. So this is how it works. So we're really sorry that we didn't broke this earlier on, and we did this on season 1 before, but it was a different season where 4-4 didn't require a lot of pushback. But remember that for this to work, you're still gonna have to use like the raw 4-4 counter hit combos, because this is a must-have. Keep reminding you that this combo is a must-have with Jin. That's because it's really important to understand or to have ways of doing this combo, because whenever you can do this combo alone without Zen, it's a commitment that you don't really have to make with Jin, and you can use 4-4 just as you did before. And those people that were complaining that 4-4 has too many range, the reward is too good, the tracking is too good, are still going to complain forever because they can't really just be good enough. And even with a nerfed version of the right leg, they are still going to lose to your forward force. So this is the video for today. Hope you guys enjoy it, and see you guys in the next video.